Welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists, an occasionally smart, always irreverent look at sports in St. Louis and beyond. And now, your St. Louis Sportists.
Hello and welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists. My name is Ron Cook, and I am joined by Joe Sperlin.
Hey, good to be here. Glad to see everybody.
Doug Lansdowne.
Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well.
And from deep in the heart of Texas, April Sechting.
Howdy from the Lone Star State. Happy to be back with my Ava boys.
Oh, it's all Southwest Missouri. In this edition, the Cardinals are 14-10, despite Jordan Walker cooling. Is this actually sustainable? The Mets can't win, and the nation is oddly enjoying it. The Royals finally have a stadium site. It's draft time. What do the Chiefs need? And who may get the call from area schools and universities? And it's time for the return of Loose Ends. The St. Louis Sportists are brought to you by First Coast Steel Buildings. Jason and his team will take your project from design to completion with a family-first approach. Learn more at 1stcoaststeel.com, and we'll hear more from them later in the show. And tonight's last call is brought to you by Black Dog Consulting, LLC, here to help the one truck owner and the small fleet owner to grow and prosper. Contact Dave at 417-217-9622. Black Dog Consulting, helping you retrieve bigger profits. Folks, if you could follow this podcast, like this podcast, leave us a brief review. It helps us a lot. We're on Facebook, Twitter, X, Blue Sky, Instagram, and oh yes, TikTok. If you are more of a visual person than an auditory person, you can watch this on YouTube. We are at STL Sportists, and our website is stlsportists.com. Let's lead it off with quick hits, Joe Sperlin. What do you have?
I have my quick hit just really made me laugh when I saw this. You know, as everybody likes talking about how the tipping has gotten out of hand. You know, would you like to round up? Do you want to tip even though I took all your order and you take your food? Would you like to tip me anyways for doing my job? Anyway, whatever you feel about that. But the shoe at the Ohio State University, concessions, you can round it up, and that money goes to the NIL fund. There you go.
That we might as well call that Robin Hood, right? I mean, they're giving to the poor.
Yes. Yeah, so there you go. And I'm sure if you want to, you can probably add a few things.
Wow.
I still want to find that article where the guy listed all the charities you could donate to, as opposed to an NIL fund. But leave it to the Ohio State University.
Well, and then there's other probably NIL departments. We won't say athletic departments, NIL departments going, damn it, why didn't we think of that?
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm surprised they don't give you like a koozie or something if you do, because heck, April, what's, from a premium standpoint, you can get a koozie for like pennies on the dollar, right?
Yeah, quarter, 50 cents if you don't spring for the good ones.
Well, there you go. So you're making, you're making money. Douglas, what do you have?
You were talking about the Mets and their 12-game losing streak. The whole time that Juan Soto's been on the DL, Francisco Lindor did not have a single walk until last night. And he hit a home run with a person on base last night for the first time since August 12th of last year. So that's all you need to know about the amazing Mets.
Have you all seen the picture of the mayor of New York, Mondani, hugging Mr. Met, and they have not won a game since he hugged Mr. Met?
I did not see that. That is awesome.
So they're tracing it back to that, and then one of the smart aleck sites I follow said that the nation is taking up a collection for Mondani to hug the Dodger mascot if they have one. Maybe just Ohtani. I don't know. April, what do you have?
Well, I won't get too far ahead of the NFL draft, but Pittsburgh is calling this. Pittsburgh and the NFL are official calling today Draft Eve. So they're calling this a 3-day free football festival now. We have fully turned roster building into a grown-up spring break. Interesting, right? And I kind of want, like, so the Steelers did a ribbon country for Steelers country, which is their NFL experience there.
Mhm.
Do you guys think this is a way for cities and franchises that will never see a Super Bowl in their city to kind of sneak in on the other end of it?
It's funny because we're going to get into in one of our loose ends, Tennessee got the Super Bowl in 30, and they say that it's largely because of how well they did with the draft a couple years ago. They said that there's that part of town, if you've been to Nashville, kind of their entertainment district, they just let the NFL take that area over. And they said, hey, this wouldn't be bad for a Super Bowl.
So it's like a lower stakes tryout. Interesting. So that's my quick take.
I would compare the Nashville area down there to a smaller version of the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And a cleaner version of 6th Street.
There is that as well.
Less stabby. That's good.
That's always helpful. So, April, the last time you were on, we were talking about a guy the Cardinals got, Girangelo Sinjay. Remember the switch pitcher, the guy that throws both left-handed and right-handed?
Party trick.
Well, you would think that, except at a Double-A game this year down in Springfield, in fact, this past week, he recorded outs with both arms, one left-handed, he got 2 guys out left-handed, and he got several guys out right-handed. He went 4 2/3 innings for Double-A Springfield on Tuesday night, which I guess that was last night. We're recording on Wednesday. 3 hits. He struck out 4, walked 3. And so, faced the first 6 batters as a right-hander, and then comes back out, switches the glove. If you've seen his glove, he can put it on either hand. And he hit the first guy he faced throwing left-handed, but then he got 2 outs. So, they were thinking that he might just be a right-hander, but it looks like he's going to keep this up a little bit.
Good news for everybody but the guy that got hit.
It is. It is. Because, again, he can still get it up there in the mid-90s left-handed.
Now, he cannot switch during a batter, correct?
Correct. He's got to pick
Okay.
one when the batter steps into
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, I didn't like the way that came out of my right hand. Let me try this left-handed. So, Doug, they could use some pitching because today Kyle Leahy was not good.
It's painful to watch him pitch. But I mean, we've had a starter like that every year. So, I mean, they Monday night and today they weren't fun to watch, but they won last night. So,
No.
1 out of 2, but do we slip into that where it's, we win 1 out of 2, 1 out of 2, 1 out of 2. Do we get into that mode, and those pitchers are going 4 innings, and those guys in the bullpen, when they walk in, their knuckles are dragging the ground because they pitched 5 out of 8 days. And the pitching worries me.
Pitching is a concern, and in fact, Ryan Stanek, he led me to tell Joe. Do you remember Don Stanhouse with the Orioles? Because Earl Weaver nicknamed him Full Pack because he said that's how much he would smoke in the runway every time he came in to try to save a game. I think Ryan Stanek might have a deal with the people that make blood pressure medicine. I think he's in it with Big Pharma, actually.
Yeah.
He's not good. On the other end of the spectrum, Doug, you got Riley O'Brien, who has still not given up a run.
Nope. They had him. It was like cloak and dagger for like a year and a half. He didn't pitch, and he was hurt and stuff. And then last year we saw him the last third of the season. But he looks really good at the end of a ball game.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, I heard a stat today that I was out walking the canines, and this one kind of made me do like a Scooby-Doo thing. The Cardinals pitchers have the lowest strikeout rate of any staff in the last 10 years. They're relying on a lot of batted ball luck. That word luck kind of concerns me.
Well, I think Crash Davis made, what was it, ground balls and, fly balls. That's more democratic, or, that's spread the wealth there, So, hey, I just say this, Ron. I mean, you're not happy with their pitching, but you kind of, their record right now.
14-10.
Yeah. Hey, as I was getting ready to say, yesterday, excuse me, they were the last wild card spot.
Yeah.
So,
no, I mean, there are bright spots, Doug. He's cooled off a bit. Jordan Walker, the strikeouts are coming back, but he's still looking good. And then Mr. Herrera, I heard this. This was my other stat I heard on my walk. In his first 18 games, he walked 18 times. The last person to do that wore number 5 and played first base in 2006.
Yeah. Well, I said last week they were scraping along, and Herrera and Wynn hadn't even gotten going yet, and they've had a good week since then. So Burleson's solid. So it, I still stay up and watch them. Like I said, the last 3 years I've gone to bed instead of watching them, but I finish games and stuff. But it's we'll see how the next couple of weeks go.
Yeah,
Walker, Ron, why would you say he's kind of cooled off now? Is it the
strikeout rate is going back up? He started to chase again.
Yeah,
and
okay.
he had a stretch where he had 8 strikeouts and 20 at bats over the last couple weeks, and so some of the plate discipline is not exactly there.
Hey, it's the old deal. When you're on fire, you swing at some of those pitches, I guess, don't you?
Oh yeah,
you're hot. Heat check. I'll just swing.
You remember
at
that April from the softball action?
Oh, absolutely. It was coming in at, I don't know how many hours per mile. And yeah, fanning me back from that plate like nobody's business.
The National League Central is stupid in that everyone's over 500. And, well, let's face it, the Cubs got to play the Mets. I mean, that helps them.
Yeah, that helps.
So, but yeah, everyone in the National League Central is doing well, and the Cardinals have not played a National League Central team yet. We talked about the Mets that are just ridiculously hilarious, and the big news here in the state of Missouri today is the downtown Royals, Joe Sperlin.
Well, you talk about a team that's probably as ridiculous as the Mets. That would be the Royals. I mean, they're doing things that running into each other in the outfield. Perez run through a third baseman and got thrown out. The catcher had the ball and was like holding it, like it was almost like he stopped running, like, okay, you got me. So, hey, but they got to feel pretty good that now they got a place. I mean, it just comes down to that.
Doug, it is a joint partnership with Hallmark. Does this mean we're going to be subjected to one of those terrible movies now?
Maybe. I had no idea that Hallmark had originally designed the crown out in the middle of the field at the K. I had no idea until I read that. No.
I did not know that either.
No, I read that today. It said Hallmark designed the crown out in the middle of the K. So,
Ta-da-da, the more you know. We just educated people big time with that. I wonder if it's so bad this year that they're doing a workshop for condolence cards or something. Like all the stuff that you just described, I could see it in one of those shoebox cards. I'm sorry you're so bad at baseball. Here's a card.
We're skipping the part where the manager said that he gave Salvador Perez, it was something like a mental break, and then Perez immediately goes on Twitter and says, "I don't need a mental break."
Oof, that's a circular.
Yeah, Dysfunction Junction in Kansas City. I sent the drawings of the new stadium, April, to some people. And one of them, actually 2 of them, sent back, "Where's the parking?" I guess
MetLife Stadium.
Maybe that's not that big of a deal anymore.
The Truman Sports Complex is where the parking's at.
I'm about
There
to
you
say,
go.
I know where there's going to be a huge parking lot available.
The Bannister Mall.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an oldie but a goodie.
Ooh, diabolical, Doug. I love it.
I bought a shirt at the Bannister Mall in 1988. Gray and white stripe. I still remember.
Murphy Raw at the Bannister Mall in 1980.
What would be the shuttle there from the Truman down to the Crown Center? What would be the shuttle on that?
Lord.
Kauffman Stadium, I love these oldest and newest things now. Kauffman Stadium is currently the 5th oldest stadium in Major League Baseball behind Fenway, Wrigley, Dodger Stadium, and Angel Stadium. After
Wow.
that, you go to Rogers Center, which most of us remember as Skydome.
I'm about to say Sky Dome, baby.
Skydome, which opened in 1989. And then there's this one crazy one, which is like the I think it's like this is it, the 3rd oldest National League stadium. You know what it is? This will blow your mind.
Three Rivers.
Coors Field.
Oh,
Wow.
and I think they're trying to get rid of that too, aren't they?
Probably so. So anyway, we will have a new stadium. The target date for that is 2030. So get ready for the nostalgia tour in 2029 as the Royals look back on their World Series champions every 30 years, which is roughly what they're averaging. MLB correspondent at large Joe Sperlin, what else is going on around the league that has caught
we've
your
already
eye?
talked about the last place teams, the Mets and the Royals. And like I said, as of yesterday, the Cardinals were in the wild card spot, but the Sacramento/Las Vegas A's are in first place. Now, once again, I'll keep saying the same thing. Like, everybody has a record of like 15-10. So everybody's about 2 games of all that, even last place. Teams are going, hey, we're only 2 games out. And it's late in April. And someone will say, yeah, but you're also 2 games from last place, too.
If you have a bad weekend, you can be in last place.
It's
good
amazing,
point.
Ron, that you said that the Central hasn't played each other yet. So that's
Yeah,
when
they're beating up on everyone else.
Yeah, that's when that'll start, of the spreading that out. So that is.
We're starting to get into some of that now because you got Yankees and Red Sox, and you've got Dodgers and Giants going on like starting tonight. So
Yeah, and the Yankees were hitting it like it was hit off a tee against Ranger Suarez or whatever that lefty's name is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Chris Sale still has the worst line of the year when he gave up the 11 runs in was it 1 1/3, 2 1/3? It was very bad. It was like me pitching against Mountain Grove. So,
Isn't that on
but
a
back.
30 for 30 now? Can we see
I'm
that?
sorry.
Isn't that on a 30 for 30? You pitching against Tom Grove? No?
What if I told you a young man would face his doom? No, April, sticking with our Kansas City theme, your Kansas City Chiefs are drafting unusually high this year, tomorrow night.
Yep, they are. People are asking, what do they want? What do they need? And I'm saying, what don't they need at this point? It's
You better call Arizona and do whatever you can to get in that 3 spot and take that re-skid.
I don't know about that. Why you say that?
I think he's a game changer, pass rusher.
He's a Lawrence Taylor.
That would be helpful. I would like one of those. I've looked at it from a few different ways, and I think that the Chiefs fans, are going to be big mad on draft night, and that's how you're going to know that they probably made the right pick. Because everybody wants something shiny. Everybody wants something shiny. They want a shiny new target for Mahomes, or I guess Fields, as the case may be. They want the big highlight reel. Oh, not a Fields fan. All right. But I think that, like the rest of us, the Chiefs front office is they're traumatized by watching Patrick Mahomes get hurt and watch him get his knee wrecked last year. So Andy Reid's not here to be a people pleaser. He's here to survive. So I think if they draft, what are they looking for? A tackle, an edge rusher, they trade back. That's not them being scared. That's them saying that they've got a bigger window, longer window than just like their number 9 hype pick or trading up for something else. So they don't draft for applause. I love this. They draft so that we're still talking about them in January.
When you said everyone would be unhappy, that reminds me of another guy that spent a lot of time in Kansas City, Harry S. Truman. He said that budgeting was the art of making everyone equally unhappy.
Yes.
So maybe that's what the Chiefs are going for tomorrow night.
Ron, I'll say this: that one you sent about from the Atlantic beat writers, they had the Chiefs drafting the defensive end from Miami, Bain.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, he looked good, but he's 6'2", 260. I think when the real
Short
offensive tackle, when the real offensive tackles get hold of him, the NFL, he will not be able to rush like that. And I forgot who it was. If it was a semifinal game, but somebody, it was like he went up against a NFL caliber first round tackle, and I can't remember who it was, and pretty much shut him down. I think if they draft him at 9, and I've seen some other boards that they were going down, but Doug, who'd you say, the Reese?
I said that you trade up to Arizona for the 3 spot and take that Reese kid.
Yeah.
See, that one, they've got the Jets, Jet, Jets taking them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they also had him taking that receiver from Arizona State at number 9. I saw that a couple times.
No.
I don't know about that. I mean,
that seems reachy.
Trade down, and you can probably get him down in the bot like 15 or 16.
I was just going to say, this time of year, what you can count on from Kansas City is a whole lot of misdirection. Like, you can't trust anything they say this time of year. So it literally could be it could be anything. And I think the fact that we're all coming from different angles, they've earned that reputation. They did this, I think, they do it every year, but most famously the year they drafted Mahomes, they were, messaging something else entirely. And here we are.
At one time they had Love, the running back from Notre Dame, going to the Chiefs. And Doug, he's worked his way up to number 3. They're talking about Arizona taking him.
I've seen 3 or 4 for him.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, hey, that dude was like the middle of the pack. Then all of a sudden now he just keeps bumping up. And every time they keep talking, he keeps going up there. So
they keep comparing him to Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you another kid that can play, and I know it's not a sexy pick and the position is falling way down the board, but I'm telling you, that Downs kid from Ohio State, he's a dude.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. He'll be a difference maker.
Well, and where's he at on this list?
Probably the Giants at 10.
10. The Giants at 10. Hey, I've got to say this, and since especially with April here, I'm interested where Ty Simpson ends up. Is he the quarterback that they say is going to go at the end of the first round, and he's still sitting there uncomfortable day 2? And like, when do they draft him? Because for quarterbacks, next year's quarterback draft will be a lot better.
It'll be a banger compared to this.
A lot of meh. And I think that's coloring the whole draft, really.
And then also, Joe, they've talked about how he needs to be drafted at a certain level or he will make more money going back to school.
Well, it's funny you said that because he was offered $6.5 million from the U. The U, not the U, the U. And for him to make that, he would have to be a top 35 pick to make $6.5 million in the NFL.
It's almost like you hear the old clock from 24. If he gets down that low, it'll be a cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Yeah.
Hey, and when he gets to 36, he gets up and he says, "You never saw me here," and he just leaves.
He does the James Earl Jones. He's like that torpedo hit its target, and I was never here.
And I was never here.
April, we said Mendoza sentenced to Vegas. Do you, do you think he's the week one starter out there?
I laughed out loud at work to the point that I thought somebody was going to call security. That sentence to Vegas, that's genius right there. I think what else are they going to do? I think they have to start him. What else? Start a cheerleader? Like what's happening over there? I don't know.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I did hear, by the way, that Doug, you'll love this. The new coach out in Vegas is giving them all just silver shells, and they have to earn their shield.
Ooh, there you go.
I'm not quite sure. Yeah,
Well,
I don't know if it means knocking off a liquor store, April. I mean, we're talking the Raiders here,
Yeah.
So
Hey,
basically,
they'll end up drafting Georgia players. Let's draft some Georgia players.
Did you see the Georgia wide receiver that got like arrested for going crazy fast? And they're like, "Oh, he's going to the Chiefs."
Yeah. Yeah. Right before the draft. How smart is he?
Now, he's almost as smart as Diego Pavia. I mean, what? Yeah.
Speaking of, Joe, last year I had this morbid fascination where I would just look at the draft to see if he'd been picked and he hadn't been picked, and then I'd watch like 3 picks to see if he was taken, and he slid and he slid and he slid. Is that Pavia this year, you think?
No one's drafting him. When's the Canada draft?
The U.S. level.
He's not going to get drafted. If he does, it's someone owes somebody a favor when he gets drafted in the 7th round.
It's like Mike Piazza getting picked by the Dodgers because Tommy Lasorda's friend,
yes.
I think. Is he the one thing that I will love to see is if they actually have a camera at his watch party, because A, I want to see that, and then B, I want to see at what point he tells them to shut it off.
Because that's going to happen. Yeah, I saw some comparisons of like he and his brothers walking the red carpet at the Heisman ceremony. Like, it had Goodfellas vibes. I was thinking more like swingers, an ironic, like an unironic expression of that. I mean, the guy is the king of unforced errors. He should have looked at Shedeur Sanders as like, this is a life lesson. This is a cautionary tale. And instead, it seemed like he looked at it as a playbook and said, hold my beer.
He did. It's like he pulled out those field notebooks and like flipped them over and started like writing furiously every time Shedeur did something.
I can do that.
I am the best quarterback in camp.
Yeah. Johnny Manziel's whispering in his ear, telling him that.
That's his spiritual advisor. Hey, Joe, anyone at Mizzou, Missouri State, Illinois that we're keeping an eye on here?
Is it Zion Young, the defensive end? He's a first rounder.
Yeah. I think he's going to go in the first round for sure.
I think Illinois got a couple dudes defensively that will probably be second, third rounds. You saw that where that Missouri State guy is transferring and going to play football.
Right. Yeah. The basketball player is going to play football.
He's a big old boy. He's a big old boy. So
he is. It was always an adventure watching him shoot free throws, I tell you.
Yeah.
What is the opposite of gentle? Anyway. And whose coverage are we going to watch? I mean, it used to just be the draft was on ESPN and that was it. And now like everyone and their brother is covering.
I will continue to do my boycotting of Herb Street. So whatever he's not on.
See, I was just going to say anywhere Stephen A. Smith isn't.
Oh, perfect.
I don't want to take any risks. So we're using an elimination program here.
That wins the night.
I will say I love the Nick Saban, the stories and things he'll say about that. But yeah, I don't know what I may even have the sound down and just see when the names pop up.
And when I'm watching NFL Network, I always feel like I'm watching kind of the, third local news in the market, It's like.
And then it's like whoever technically gets to announce the pick first. It's the NFL Network, isn't it? And then ESPN kind of has to slide in at the end.
And then ABC gets the I don't know.
Yeah. This also keeps me track of who signed the free agents where, because they will say they don't need this need because they signed this guy in free agency. And I'll go, oh, yeah, I did not know that. And it kind of keeps track of all that. Jim Pendergrass and I had a conversation over lunch because we were like, I looked at him and I said, okay, LSU's quarterback was the guy from Arizona State. And the guy from TCU went to Indiana. And then it was like, okay, so where'd the guy? And it was like a big college quarterback. And I said, I really don't watch that until August when you find out where all the quarterbacks transferred to. So,
Oh, on that note, it is time to hear from the good folks at First Go Steel Buildings. After the break, it's the return of Loose Ends. The NCAA Roundup, and City hopes to rebound after a disastrous trip to the Pacific Northwest. All this and more when we come back.
Spring storm and tornado season has arrived. Are you prepared? Why not build a new steel barn-dominium or outbuilding that will have you ready to weather the storms? Do you want your next home or building to be engineered for the proper wind loads for your area? Then look no further than First Coast Steel Buildings. First Coast Steel offers excellent material value and can help to reduce your insurance costs. And they can help you with your needs right here in the Midwest, where we see tornadoes and flooding, along with infestations of mold, rodents, and termites. Let First Coast Steel design your next building project and keep you and your family safe. Call 912-314-4848 or get inspired and design your own by visiting them online at the number 1stcoaststeel.com. Storms will happen. Prepare yourself with a new First Coast Steel building. Discounts for military and first responders.
And we are back on the St. Louis Sportus podcast. Along with Joe Sperlin, Doug Lansdowne, and April Sechting, my name is Ron Cook, and it is time for the return of Loose Ends. You might be saying, what is Loose Ends? If you've joined us since we did Loose Ends last summer, our good friend Keith Farrell was headed out of town on a trip, and we're like, Keith, you going to be able to join? He's like, no, I can't. I've got some loose ends to take care of. And we just thought we couldn't decide. April, is that more Corleone or Soprano-ish? What do you think?
Feels more Soprano-ish to me.
I think so.
Go either way, but I'm gonna go with Sopranos on that.
I see Polly Walnuts and Christopher.
Moltisanti having some loose ends. Yeah, I got it.
We talked about this briefly. The Super Bowl in 2030 going to Nashville. This upcoming year, it's going to be in Los Angeles. And we do have one going to Vegas where, Joe, we're starting to get some different cities kicked around in the rotation here.
see, and then I also saw after they put Nashville in, they're going to get into a 4-city rotation. That the NFL, they were talking about doing that, of doing a 4-city rotation, but I don't know if that's to get teams to bid more, to say, hey, we'd like to be in the rotation. Oh, the NFL, they're quite a group of,
We're about to add them
say,
to FIFA and the U.S. or the International Olympic Committee.
Yeah.
You may hear from me on FIFA again before the end of the show. But you'd think that with Cleveland and Denver getting these new stadiums that they would have to get them, right?
Have you been to Cleveland in February?
I was going to say, who wants to go to Cleveland?
Yeah.
Hey, they did one in Pontiac, Michigan, remember?
And they haven't been back.
Good point.
I waited for that. Cleveland is a fun place to go. I shout out Cleveland. Love you guys, but February, not so much. I don't care if they move it off the water. It's not okay. It will not be okay there.
Yeah. Hey, Doug, Billy Donovan, and you were the one that taught me how to properly pronounce his name when he was a player, is leaving the Chicago Bulls. Gee, do you think he wants to stay pro, or because there are some college programs that would probably slide a blank check across the table to him?
I think he wants to stay pro. based on what he said and everything. I mean, I think he looks at it and say, "Hey, I won back-to-back national championships," and so I think he's going to stay pro. I really do.
Yeah, it's it seems like lately when those guys like Stevens get up there, they don't come back.
Nope. No, they don't. He just, they'll be, and they said there'd be 6 or 8 NBA jobs open, and he'd be the top candidate for all of them. So, yeah, I don't think he comes back.
And speaking of another guy that may be looking for work, who would have thunk we'd be talking about Mr. Steve Kerr potentially not being employed by the Golden State? That's still to be determined, but strong rumors out there.
He'll be on Peacock next year as the lead analyst on the NBA.
Yeah.
Peacock.
Either that or MSNBC. Oh, I'll edit that out later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cut that out. No.
I'm sorry.
He won't be on Fox. Sorry.
Yeah, no, he'll be Bernie Sanders. He'll be Bernie Sanders' chief of staff. Okay. Doug, before I get in further trouble, the PGA is no longer opening in Hawaii? You've got to be kidding me. That's tradition.
Nope. It's been coming for a while now. Like I said, last year when they let Kapalua burn up, and I think all the big names said, "Look, we don't want to go over to Hawaii and play. Can't we just start in Palm Springs in the middle of January?" So that probably makes more sense.
Yeah. There's a great play, by the way, called Other Desert Cities that is based in Palm Springs. If you ever get a chance to see it, I highly recommend it. So did I hear also they're talking about pushing the start of the season back?
Yep. They keep, at one time they said, well, we need to start after the Super Bowl. Well, they can't do that. But maybe you play the last 2 weeks. Maybe you play the last week of January, first week of February, and then you don't play the weekend of the Super Bowl and then go from there. I think that's probably what they're looking at.
Yeah. April Secting, you mentioned our good friend Stephen A. Smith. He said that golfers and NASCAR drivers are not athletes. He went on to expand his point by saying that if it was something that his grandmother could do, he didn't consider it a sport.
I would pay good North American money to see him go 5 laps in a NASCAR at race speed. With or without the fire suit. I ain't picky on that one.
Not him. I want to see his grandmother do it.
Me too.
Grandmother?
And then run a marathon like those guys do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that is someone speaking from a place of misplaced confidence. The Dunning-Kruger effect. The less you know about something, the more confident you can sound while you're saying it.
We just leveled up here on the St. Louis
There it is.
podcast.
The more you know.
My goodness gracious. I was thinking of him getting out of that NASCAR and it being like a legendary SNL skit with Eddie Murphy and a bobsled. If you ever have a chance to see that. What a great run. That was terrifying. That was the most terrifying thing I've ever done. And they're like, oh, well, you just qualified for the next round. No.
I don't want to do it.
Oh.
So yeah, well, and with him, Joe, I mean, half the time you're wondering, is he just like, is he being Mr. Clickbait here?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see him tell Tiger Woods in person, oh, by the way, you're not an athlete.
He's going to crawl out of that Range Rover and he's going to kick his tail.
He can't get out.
Yeah.
He can't get out.
He might still have the pitching ledge from Ellen. Anyway. Joe, after it appears in the Browns mini camp that the quarterback competition will come down to Deshaun and Shedeur. Why is this not Hard Knocks?
I don't even think Hard Knocks would believe it. I don't think the NFL says we really don't want that on TV. We don't want to put that on there.
I'm just wondering if they'll start talking smack about each other.
Well, it seems like a Real Housewives spinoff, just right for the picking, right there. Just mic those guys up, take them to brunch, and just let them scratch each other's eyes out, because that's going to happen.
How many more years does this Sean have on his contract? Do you
Boy,
think
I
he
don't
just
know.
off that?
I don't know. All it's going to take is one crack about crab legs or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a fun one to watch. Hey, Doug, Liv lives at least until the end of the year.
Lives on life support till the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and DeChambeau, he had to withdraw, which it goes back to, they said, the reason he could get out of the traps at the Masters is he jacked his wrist up earlier in the week. So, and that makes sense. He withdrew at Mexico City, and basically they're saying he's not going to do anything till the PGA Championship, which I will be on grounds, by the way.
There you go.
Oh, reporting live.
Report.
Reporting live.
Golf
From
club.
We're going to get you one of
Philadelphia.
those Al Franken things. Back to SNL. We'll get you one of those like with the satellite dish on,
Above my head. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
April, Mike Tomlin replacing Tony Dungy on Football Night in America.
I don't see how this ends well for any of us.
You go from a cerebral, respected coach to, hey, Mike Tomlin has a Hall of Fame resume, right?
He does.
Yeah. Oh,
kind of. Almost. Yeah. I'm just going to be, I think that Tony's going to do the same stuff as the rest of us. He's going to pop popcorn and he's just going to see what happens.
I still blows me away the thing that, Joe, you came up with, that there is no Mike Tomlin coaching tree.
No.
Wow.
None.
Wow.
And for those of you that weren't listening, Joe, basically, can you restate that like there's no one that has really come from his assistants?
That there's a lot of those guys that stuck with him from the very beginning. All these assistants that worked with him all along, or they brought him in. And Mike Tomlin has never done that. Always had veteran coaches, and young coaches never stayed with him and left. And he always brought in veteran coaches. And there's no Mike Tomlin tree. And I would also, and that's just amazing to me, because almost all of those coaches, I mean, the successful ones have huge trees. I mean,
yeah, and folks, if you want the opposite end of this, go look at the San Francisco 49er, like 1982 coaching staff, which has Andrew Reid, Gruden, Ray Rhodes, Shanahan. I'm doing this off the top of my head, Joe and Doug. I feel like I'm missing some.
Oh, there's like 8 of them, I think.
Holmgren.
7 or 8 of them. Yeah,
Holmgren.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
It was ridiculous.
Hey.
I mean, yeah. So, like we said, compare and contrast.
And this is why you are the St. Louis Sportis fairy godfather of all of the knowledge and all of the things. That is just crazy deep. Yes.
We all have our vices, April. And with that, we have wrapped up our loose ends. It's time to move on to the NCAA Roundup, Joe Sperlin. Hey, Bryce Underwood no longer number 1 on the depth chart at Michigan? Has the can't-miss guy missed?
I don't believe that. A motivator, I just, coming out of spring practice, I don't really worry about a lot of that stuff. And so I would say that's a motivator right there.
Can they use, Doug, is that something you can do in this day and age? Or is that something where, I mean, there is no more spring portal, but,
We'll see Kyle Whittingham, I don't know. They wanted the tough guy. Maybe he said, you can't hit the damn tight end 6 yards out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're number 2.
Well, he kind of, I think of the old, speaking of Mike Holmgren, I remember the famous thing when he said to Brett Favre, hey, no more speedballs, please. And from the games I saw, Bryce Underwood had one speed he threw every pass at.
Yep. Looked like he's playing dodgeball against Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Doyle rules. Have that on your bingo list tonight, guys.
Yeah, he was not exactly feathering balls over the shoulder.
Hey, and if there's a kid who can play for Kyle Winningham, it is Lloyd Carr's grandson.
Yep.
Because, hey, there's a saying that I have when teams, put it in cruise control, they end up losing the game. I just say, hey, they Lloyd Carr'd it. So,
Ooh.
hey, they're going to end up Lloyd Carr in this thing if they're not careful. So, there you go.
I had such tremendous respect for him because in the early days of EA, he was one of the final people to look into the camera and say, "It's in the game." April secting, those Nebraska Cornhuskers are going to overhaul 103-year-old Memorial Stadium at a cost of $600 million in time for the 2028 season. They're calling it the Big Red Rebuild. Now, this is a bit of a trend here. They're taking their capacity from 85,000, and then they're going to have they're going to cut it back to 80,000, but they're going to have more deluxe and premium seating. From a business standpoint, we're starting to see more of the premium kind of stuff.
Well, as a person of a certain age, I have to say I'm a fan of chairs with a back. And you can also, as you guys are all making the show me the money prices, that it's definitely you can charge more for all of that. I think the really incredible part of the story is that it's only 1 year. How are they going to do that? And can they replicate that? Like, I don't know, everywhere else that you take a big venue out of commission, because it's at least 3 to 4 years.
Oh, yeah. Well, and then like Kansas, they knocked down half the stadium 1 year, half the stadium the next. But that was a total rebuild.
Well, they left the Rolo up while they were building the big new stadium in Texas, and they didn't implode that until it was already done. And maybe that's what they're gonna do. I don't know, but that's the incredible part to me is like, how are you gonna fit it? How are you gonna do all that in 1 year? The luxury seating and all that makes sense. That's that's just where everything's happening. That's where
Yeah. And Joe, you've seen like the new Northwestern Stadium has like a crazy small capacity, but every seat is like something like 75 yards from the field or less, and everything has a seat back. And like I don't know if every seat has like in-seat service or something, but they're able to charge more per seat to where they're going to make more money than if they would have had more seats.
there's no bad seats at the Moody Center, the one I was talking about before in Austin. There's no bad seats, and it sounds like that's exactly what you're describing in Northwestern.
Hey, and I thought the Northwestern Stadium by the lake was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's where Nebraska's going to play.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's part of the Big 18, as our friend Keith Farrell would say. Hey, Doug, Will Wade at LSU has no players on his roster.
0.
Clean slate.
You can, clean slate or blank slate. Yeah. Yeah, it's it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out, but I don't think they thought it would be this bad this quick. So, but he's back.
On the other hand, April, you can go into a recruit's living room and say, how would you like a chance to play this year?
Right now, right here. No other place.
I brought a jersey with me.
Wow. I don't know. That orange cat looks like he's got some potential.
Yeah. Doug has a cat joining us here. Hey, Joe Sperlin, the University of Missouri-Columbia has announced they're going to play Marquette in Chicago, as opposed to all of the, Doug, help me on this, historically black colleges. Is that it? HBCs?
Right. And Marquette was like, what, 8-23 this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shaka
Let's-
had a rough time
Oh,
at
God.
Marquette.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Now, Gates has got 3 dudes so far. I will have to admit, I didn't think they could get that good of players out of the portal right now. So,
And with the freshman class they're coming in, holy cow. I mean,
yeah.
Joe Sperlin, you have all sorts of contacts around Springfield, Missouri. Hammons Field is allegedly getting a new name just hours from now. In fact, folks, by the time you're listening, you may know the answer to this. Joe, any intel on what the new name's going to be?
the usual suspects: Great Southern Bank, O'Reilly's. I forgot what the other one I saw. They had some. There was a
Bass Pro?
kind of a Bass Pro, yeah, but I don't.
SRM, Springfield Remanufacturing.
Yeah, just remanufacture it, and so I don't know. I have not heard. It's been surprisingly quiet.
Ned Reynolds Field.
Ned Reynolds Field. There was something about using a general name because of the city owning it, but the city's going to get some big time sponsor with them because all they've talked about is we bought it and it's not making any money.
That's so curious to me that it seems so curious to me that Hammond's, which is just ubiquitous everywhere. Am I stealing Ron Cook thunder? Because that is not
No,
my intent.
no, I'm going so far off the rails, April. You cannot steal this thunder.
Okay, amazing. I
He said-
cannot wait. It's just wild to see the reversal of that. Like the city of Springfield, which was able to buy this back from the Hammonds Family Trust. That's very bizarre to me. And I wonder if that hints at other things to come.
I think it was a very good price. They were willing to give that up.
Okay,
All I can say is, yeah.
gotcha.
Because we've hit every third rail on this podcast tonight, I'm just going to say they're going to announce that they're putting a data center in that big building in right field. And, it'll be like Amazon Park.
Boo. Chat GPT Park, open
There
app.
you go. Anthropic Field.
Yes.
I like that. Hey, St. Louis City looked terrible in Seattle.
As expected.
As predicted on this very podcast.
Yes.
They were losing 4-0, and the only good news of the night came in the 92nd minute when Edward Leuven, who has had a just incredibly horrible start to 2026, his wife passed away from cancer, and the whole city has kind of rallied around him, made his first appearance in a city match. Comes in the 89th minute, and he scores a goal. The only goal for St. Louis City, 4-1. They think he's ready to play as many as 45 minutes. The fitness, as they say, since you run about 8 or 9 miles in a soccer match, it's not something you exactly jump back into. So they think he can play probably a half here. And that will be Saturday. Against San Jose downtown here. I will be in attendance along with my lovely wife as the St. Louis City takes on San Jose, 7:30 Saturday night. And with that, we have reached the last call, brought to you by Black Dog Consulting. Joe Sperlin, what do you have?
Oh, hey, great news this week for me. As I have said on here several times, college bowl season to me is probably my favorite time of the year. And, they were talking about, oh, let's cut back the bowls, and some bowls started dropping out, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're cutting them back. Oh, no. The Poinsettia Bowl is returning after 10 years in San Diego. The champions of the Mountain West and the new Pac-12, the Conference of Champions, will be playing in that. Now, assuming that one of them don't make the playoffs, which will never happen.
That's true. That's true.
And then I was disappointed because I always told Rhonda one of these days I'm going to the Bahamas Bowl, but now I have a chance. The Puerto Rico Bowl, which will be an unnamed group of 6, will be on. So that gets the bowls back to 82 teams, 41 games. The made-up Xbox Bowl that Missouri State played in, they like that when there's only an 8,000-seat crowd and it looks full. That will be a bowl game next year.
Joe Sperlin, I'm telling you, that's the future, because get a
I think so,
venue
too.
like that. Get a venue where you don't have to sell tickets. You've got an 8,000 seat place. It's a made for TV bowl game.
ESPN gets the money. All you got to do is get the sponsor and sell only 8,000 tickets. And there you go.
Exactly.
And somewhere close, like I said, I never understood of sending a team from the Sun Belt to the Boise, Idaho.
No,
Yeah.
you're not going to
Keep them
travel
down there in Texas and Louisiana. Yeah.
No, if you're Arkansas State, you're not going to go to Boise.
Yeah.
That'd be as
No.
weird as
Doug?
being Texas State and what is it now? The WAC?
They're in the Pac-12.
They're in the
Pac-12.
Pac-12.
The former
As you
Southwest
expected.
Texas State,
Yeah.
I believe, April.
Yes, it has a similar trajectory to our alma mater.
Mr. Lansdowne?
Bailey has made an appearance.
It's cat night.
It's Wild
No,
Kingdom.
Bailey's here tonight. So,
Wild Kingdom.
so the draft is Thursday, and I was listening to Bill Polian talk the other night, and he was talking about the year he drafted Peyton Manning. And he said every time he go down and talk to Tom Moore's like, get the hell out of here. We're going to take Peyton Manning. And so he had charted every single pass that Peyton Manning had thrown because he was trying to convince himself his arm strength wasn't good enough. And he was like 0 for 4 on passes over 60 yards. And so he went in to tell Tom Moore that he had this stat that Peyton Manning was over 4 on 6 passes over 60 yards. And Tom Moore goes, we're not going to effing throw the GD ball 60 yards in a game. He said, take Peyton Manning. So he went back and he said, he told Tom Telesco, who's his assistant, he goes, I think we're going to take Peyton Manning. So probably a pretty good choice.
Oh, how desperate do you have to be? And
Gosh,
April,
do you remember the discussion between him and Ryan Leaf?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
it was like that's
It
all
was
they
all
talked
about the arm strength. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to do this one, Doug. I'm going to stay on your subject since our friend Tom Mathis is on assignment tonight. I am going to tell the story I put in text today. Our buddy Zipper Zuppa, told me this one, and it's been out there. It was when, out of absolute nowhere, the St. Louis football Cardinals drafted Kelly Stoffer. I want to say this was like 1987. And Bernie Miklasz said, apparently way too loud in the media room, oh my God, they drafted a girl. So, April, save us.
I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to go, third rail, off the rails, no rails, whatever. This is just a fun Missouri fact that I found. So Missouri remains undefeated. Hard stop, period. Apparently there is a bat bar in Lost Canyon Cave in Missouri described as a drive-through golf cart bar in a cave with bats. That's literally a bat bar in a cave. And I don't know what else you want from a state
Bats?
off Hale, Missouri. Oh no, like
Folks, all I have to say is the last 40 seconds were so much better on YouTube.
we aim to please.
For mine, I am going back to the gift that keeps on giving. I don't know what I'm going to do when the World Cup is over. Ticket sales for the World Cup opener in Los Angeles are lagging. So the place where they are having the opener holds 69,000, let's just call it 70,000 people. They've sold 40,000 tickets. Team USA, World Cup on American soil, and they've sold 40,000 of the 70,000 tickets. Why might that be, you ask? Well, the tickets for the match are priced at $2,700, $1,900, and if you want to set up in, Doug, I believe it would be Tier 3 in the stadium, that would cost you $1,120. So if you have a family of 4, as Keith Farrell said, just build a home theater. So anyway, this is still a couple months away, and a little bit more pertinent to the MLS, Major League Soccer, in your St. Louis city. They're going to take a 53-day break starting in May, and it will go from May to July. So there's going to be a very large break for St. Louis City and all of MLS during the World Cup. And hopefully those folks in LA will buy some tickets or not. I kind of think it would be hilarious if there's some empty seats.
Did you see how much? So I hadn't seen the low ticket purchase in LA, but I did see that they're charging $150 round trip to the MetLife Stadium.
Thank you for that. That was my last call last week when it was only $100. It is now up to $150.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is my bad for not listening all the way to the end.
No. It was 100.
That's why you listen to it all, folks.
It was 100 last week, and now they're saying it's 150.
Now, and it's like $3 for the Los Angeles public transit, but that doesn't matter when the tickets are grand and up.
Well, yeah. Take your 2 kids and spend $4,000 to see really bad soccer. And that will do it. And if you've made it this far, boy.
You need a medal.
Yeah. Remember the Croix de Candlestick, Doug? If you made it through a extra inning game in San Francisco at Candlestick Park, it was the giant logo with the icicles on it.
Yep.
We will send you, I don't know. Folks, thank you. Joe Sperlin, appreciate you, sir.
Hey, April, that's why you listen from start to finish, because there's information. We go bell to bell, as they say in education here with the Sportists. So, hey, enjoyed it, April. Good to see you.
Good to see y'all.
Doug Lansdowne.
Yep. Thanks for coming in this week, April. Been a good time as always.
April, what was it they said in Track Through the Tape?
Ouch. That hurts.
Through the tape.
Peace out.
And with that, folks, we will catch you next week on the St. Louis Sportists Podcast. And until then, take care.
And that wraps another episode of the St. Louis Sportists Podcast. Please like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest episodes. You can find these guys on all major podcast platforms. And thanks for listening.